I'm Heidi, a Stanislaus County Master Gardener, and I'm here today to talk about how to save seeds. I'm going to show you how to save tomato seeds, and I've collected all of my equipment. I have a jar with the label of the tomato on it. I have the pin that labeled it, spoon, a fork, a knife, paper towel or cheesecloth with a rubber band or a ring, the tomato of course, and to save the seed, I'm going to cut it open and we're going to put it in this jar. And the reason we put it in the jar is to let it ferment for 2 or 3 days. So I'm going to cut the tomato and look on the inside for the seeds. Just cut through it. The reason that we want to put the seeds into this jar is because we need to let the seeds ferment for 4 to 5 days. And the reason we let them ferment is because on the tomato seed, there's that a gelish film that if we let that dry with the tomato seed, it would not germinate. So we get all of the seeds into the jar. Get as many as we can. We've got to scoop some up right there. I'm going to do this tomato too. With tomatoes, you want to especially use heirloom tomatoes, because if you use a hybrid tomato and grow the seed from the hybrid, it will not grow true to the seed that you originally harvested the tomato. So you want to make sure you're using heirloom tomatoes because they will grow true when you are growing them again next year. After I've collected my tomato seeds, I'm going to pour this half full and I let it sit for 2 to 4 days, 5 days sometimes. Depends on the environment, how warm it is. And I'll put a paper towel over it. You can use the ring around it or a rubber band. And then we'll just let that sit for about 5 days. So here I have a tomato, a yellow pear tomato that I collected the seed from 2 days ago. And you can see that there's seeds floating on the top. Those are seeds that are not good, and the seeds that are sinking to the bottom would be good seeds. And you can kind of see that there's a little film developing on the top of the water. And here is tomato that I collected 4 days ago, and look at all that film on the top there. That's really good. And you can see, you can't really see if I tilt the jar, but the good seeds are sinking to the bottom and the bad seeds will float to the top, and we'll strain those out next time. So with tomatoes, they're the easy seeds to save because they're self-pollinating. And when you're collecting heirloom varieties, You want to have them isolated, maybe 15 to 50 feet apart, so that you do get a true seed and they're not cross-pollinated with the bee. Because sometimes the bees come in and want to go from flower to flower. And if you isolate one type of tomato that you want to save the seed from, 15 to 50 feet is usually the recommended amount. But they do seldom cross-pollinate. So when seeds are stored properly, like I've saved these seeds this year, but you want to make sure that you are storing them in a paper envelope, and make sure to put the date that you've collected them, the year 2020, because seeds, when they're stored properly in a cool, dry place, they can last up to 5 years. Hello, gardeners. I'm here on day 5, ready to strain my tomato seeds. And here I have the terracotta tomato. And if you look here, it has somewhat of a film on top of the water. And the good seeds are on the bottom. The seeds floating, if there are any, are the ones that we want to get rid of. So I'm going to strain out a little bit of this water and add some good water. Let it settle for a little bit. Strain it out. We're going to keep doing this until the water is pretty clear coming out. Continue to do this. Any of those seeds that come out are probably not good ones to keep. You can see them floating around. They have to settle to the bottom. You can pour out the water. I'll do it one more time. Look at those little seeds. The terracotta tomato, which is what I'm doing right now, is kind of an orange tomato. An heirloom. There, you can see those seeds in there. Now I'm going to strain them. You see, not too many tomatoes there, but enough for a crop for next year. And I've labeled my plate. Put the tomatoes on there, spread them out a little bit. And I'll leave them on the plate for about 5 days. And once they're nice and dry after the 5th day, I'll put them in this paper envelope and store them in a cool, dry place until the late January, where I can start them and have a new crop of tomatoes next year. And thank you for watching.